Do you have your boxing gloves on?
Oh, I don't know. I usually drop the gloves. I don't put them on.
You and I have had some good sparring over the last few years,
Yeah, we
particularly
have.
when you were at City Hall.
Yes.
And some good debates,
Yeah,
really.
we have.
So one of the first questions I will ask is, you are considered to be one of the most divisive politicians in
Really?
this city, in this country.
Oh my goodness,
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Come on, you have this take no holds.
Yeah, well, because I have
no
to protect the
prisoners.
taxpayer, and they want to take the money, and I want to protect the money. So.
Do you think that style will work at Queen's Park, where you have to work with, at City Hall, it's one vote, one
That's
person.
right. Yeah.
It's very different where you'd be running
Understand.
a party at Queen's Park. Do you think that your brash style, some might call it abrasive, would work there?
Well, I think so, because at City Hall, as you noted, it's every person for himself down there. I like working as a team. There's no I in the word team. I work as a team here in our U.S. facilities. I don't think I'd be successful as a business owner if I didn't respect the team. And I'm also a strong believer in surrounding myself with smarter people than myself in their area of expertise. And that's what builds a good team. So we're going to build the best team the province has ever seen. We have 28 minus Batters, 27 caucus members. We have great candidates. There's still 22 ridings open. And we're going to turn this province around. We're going to have the most prosperous province in the country and in North America.
Do you think you'll have to change your leadership style? Are we going to see a different Doug Ford than the Doug Ford we saw at City Hall?
Yeah, I think so, because it's a different arena. It's a different sport. Down there, it's every man for himself, every man, woman, I should say, for himself. At least at Queen's Park, you have a team. You have a team backing you up, and we're going to have a great team.
Interesting. Already I'm sensing sort of a calmer, softer Doug Ford in these answers.
Well, because it's I give an analogy at any business or even any sports team anyone's on. I like being part of a team.
And yet, the other day when you threw your hat in the ring,
Yes.
I described it as throwing gasoline on the fire.
Oh, well,
Because you instantly took aim at your own party, and you were calling out the elites, your version of the elites,
Yes.
and you were saying that the party was a mess.
yeah.
This
it
party
was.
is in a downward spiral and has been since the Patrick Brown allegations. Are you not making the situation worse by using that language?
No, I don't think so. But my main goal moving forward is to unite the party and focus on Kathleen Wynne. I know over decades that I've been involved in politics, and it works the same way with the Republicans in the U.S. and the Conservatives in Canada. They love eating their own. And
But you're doing the same with your party.
well,
I
I
mean,
just
who
had
are
to.
you
Well, I have
calling
to.
out?
Well, I have to get rid of the people that have their special interests in there.
Like who?
I can't name names, but there's the establishment, the elites that want to get the big contracts. They want to get the sole source deals. It's not going to happen under my watch.
Are you saying those are MPPs within the party?
I'm not saying that. There could be outsider special interest groups, but I want to empower the people. I want to put the power back to the people instead of the government. And the government, we've seen with Kathleen Wynne and the Liberals for the last 15 years, I should say McGuinty Wynne Liberals, over the last 15 years, that there's been endless sole source deals. There's billion-dollar boondoggles, no matter if we go back to the e-health billion-dollar boondoggle or the orange or the gas plants. It never stops with these guys, and people are fed up.
Is this a familiar theme, though, in how your brother and you got into City Hall? We're going to stop the gravy train, we're going to stop the corruption, we're going to stop the sweet deals. You're saying the same thing in this campaign, it sounds like, already.
Yeah, and we had a proven record. When we went in there, we stopped all the sole source deals. We made sure that we put everything online to make sure it was transparent. Never happened before. And we saved hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Which was hotly disputed.
Well, I love that. Do you know what's funny? That when the Toronto Star came out and they said they didn't save over $1 billion, they only saved 700 million. I said, okay, we're the only government that saved 700 million. But I know we saved over $1 billion, so does the budget chief.
Are you worried about the state of the party? I mean, Vic Fideli has come out and said that he's got to clean out the rot. You've said it's a mess. What's going on with this party?
I think you can't hide things when it's right in the public. And, there's issues out there, then you have to address it.
Are you worried about the memberships? Some are saying that 200,000 is at least double what it actually is.
Yeah, we're going to find that out once we fully register and everything goes through. Then we get a membership list. They're charging $25,000 for the membership list, $100,000 to get in the race, and once we get that, then we'll be very transparent, and we'll tell the people how many members there are, and we're going to build on that.
With you attacking the party from within, are you taking a page out of Donald Trump? I mean, that's what he did during the Republican convention, and it was scorched earth policy. Is that what you're doing?
I don't care about Donald Trump. He can do what he wants. Let him do. God bless him. And we're going to focus on Ontario. But I do have one message. This is the world economy now, and all those American businesses, come to Ontario. But first, wait until we get elected. Come to Ontario. We're going to be competitive on hydro rates. We're going to be competitive on tax rates. And we're going to have the greatest province in Canada and throughout North America. People are going to love to come here and open businesses. Unlike Campbell Soup, that closed down, close to a 100-year plant. 300 people are out of a job because of high hydro rates, because of high taxes, because of high water rates.
Do you think your style, your brash style, and I'm going to say it to your face, I think you have a brash style, or you have exhibited that. Are you similar to Donald Trump, and are you taking a page out of Donald Trump, or is he taking a page out of Ford Nation? Which one came first? I'm
going to press replay for a second. I don't care about Donald Trump. I care about the people of Ontario.
No, but there are similarities in terms of language and the elites that he's used as well. Do you find?
No, we were in politics well before President Trump, and I don't give. No, honestly, I don't give two hoots about Donald Trump. I'm going to focus on Ontario, and go after the Liberal government that has destroyed the middle class. Not even the middle class. They've destroyed the upper class, the lower class, and the middle class, and businesses across the board.
You have, in this very office before, said that you are a fan of Donald Trump. Do you still feel that way?
Well, I'm going to differentiate between the U.S. government and here in Ontario.
You don't want to talk about Donald Trump.
I don't need to talk about Donald Trump because I'm focused on Ontario. I'm laser beam focused on the people of Ontario.
Okay, never mind Donald Trump then. Kevin O'Leary. He had this, larger than life brash approach, and he couldn't survive and get enough votes within the Tory leadership. Do you think that Canadians can handle that big personality in politics that you have, that Kevin O'Leary have?
Well, Kevin's a pretty bright business person, but he never served any of the people. And I like Kevin O'Leary. He's an associate. I've talked to him, and a nice guy, but he wasn't prepared to sit there and do the 18-hour days, go to people's residence, and I know you don't do that federally, but really engage with the people. And I have a great deal of respect for Kevin O'Leary, but he wasn't prepared to sacrifice 24/7. I left this office at 1 o'clock in the morning last night. I was up at 5 o'clock, driving downtown to meet people and do interviews.
What do you think of the Me Too campaign in this current climate right now that brought down Patrick Brown?
Yeah, well, something, I think everyone should be respected. No one should abuse their power or their privileges. As you know, Cynthia, you've seen my 4 girls, my wife. But it's not just women, it goes for men too, on both sides, or young men or whatever. Everyone has to start respecting each other. That's really what it comes down to.
There have been a lot of people, though, that have criticized the PC party for hanging him out to dry, some might say, and not giving him a chance to defend himself. Do you think the party acted properly?
Well, I can't comment on that, really. That's up to Patrick Brown and the party to sort out.
Oh, but I think you can comment on that. If you want to be leader of this party, do you think, how would you handle a situation like this?
You know something, I don't know the internal runnings of the 28 caucus members. I wasn't down there. I don't know the likes and dislikes of who's on whose team per se. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm going to unite that party. We're going to move forward. And our mission is to make sure that we start respecting the taxpayers, putting money back in the taxpayers' pocket opposed to the government. And our target is not internally. Our target should be on Kathleen Wynne and the Liberals.
I think in light of the Patrick Brown allegations that there will be a much more stringent vetting process.
Oh, sure there will be.
So you are going to be looked at more closely by the party than ever before, I suspect. Do you have any skeletons that you're worried about?
No, do you know what's funny, Cynthia? No family in this country has been vetted more than the Ford family. We have been chased around. People have talked to my kindergarten teacher, talked to every single person I've ever been around. They've chased us into the U.S. They've chased us here. They've waited outside our buildings. They've followed us around. So if there's any family that's been vetted, it's been the Ford family. Our family is an open book, and I'm first to admit that we've had our challenges. It was out there. But we also take care of the taxpayers, and we work our backs off. And I'll tell you one thing, no one is going to influence me or anyone part of our family on special contracts, sole source deals. Not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
You know the Globe and Mail article and allegations about drug dealing when you were a
teenager
will come up.
Yeah, they can do that. It's old news. They went through that, and it's a bunch of nonsense, and that's what bothers me. They can throw any story they want. I know one thing. I've sacrificed my life to give back to the people, to be a public servant. I give up my salary. I give up my business. And a lot of politicians give up their family to a certain degree, that they're out there 12 hours a day, 7 days a week sometimes. That's a huge sacrifice. But that's what we believe in. You have to give back to the people. I have a great life. I don't need to be running for politics. It's a passion of mine. We still get, even when I wasn't in politics, I still had 10 to 15 constituent calls a day on every issue, federal, provincial, and municipal. We're there to serve the people, and they've supported us, and I feel this obligation that I can't sit back and watch this province go down the tube like it has been. We're paying $1 billion a year in interest in servicing our debt. It's staggering. People talk about California, they're in debt. We have 1/3 the population of California, and we have 3 times the amount of debt, or double the debt, I should say. I apologize. Double the debt, 3 times the population. Something is wrong in this province.
I am sensing this is what your theme, that this is part of your campaign speech already, and how you're
it's
hoping
just
to
the
win
way I
leadership.
feel. It's not even script. That's just the way I feel. It's true.
Will you follow Patrick Brown's platform?
The majority of it. And it's not so much Patrick Brown's. We had a policy convention. People voted on it. There's one thing that we're going to look at, and that's the carbon tax.
You don't like it?
No, I don't like it. But 89% of our party didn't like it either. So I'm not too sure why it got in there when 89% of your party didn't want it. But it's just a bad tax. We do have to come up with a solution. And as the whole province has seen, this train's going down the tracks at about 300 miles an hour right now. Everyone's trying to get their hands around everything. And over the next few days, I'm going to put out our platform a little more in depth on the carbon tax. But I believe the party decided. I'm going to run with the platform, the vast majority of the platform that the party put forward. It's a good platform too.
When you look back at your days at City Hall, is there anything you would change? Do you think that you were too harsh, too abrasive, too combative, perhaps at times?
Well, it's a very combative place there. You know, you don't get in a fight with one person, right? You don't look in the mirror and start fighting with yourself.
But would you have handled
it's very
it differently
combative
today? Have you?
Sure,
have you changed?
Yeah, I think so. And you know, as we all grow older, I think we grow wiser. We settle down a little bit more. But the City Hall, in my opinion, was the most combative, most dysfunctional political arena there was. The previous mayor said it. The present mayor has said it to me. The current, when Rob was down there, I always personally say, and I said it under David Miller, I said it under Rob Ford, and believe it or not, I'm going to say this under John Tory. You know, the system that one mayor gets elected with a majority of the votes in 44 wards, but he has one vote, the same as the local councillor. I don't believe that. I believe in the system similar to LA, New York, or Chicago. The mayor has strong mayor powers. It's not ultimate power, but it has veto power, and 2/3 takes to overrule the mayor's decision. The mayor has to be held accountable for everything that moves in the city. Even though he may not be responsible for it, it falls under his domain, right? The TTC, the police, the hydro, all the boards, he has to be in charge.
So if you won the leadership...
John Tory's probably doing cartwheels here on this right now.
If you won the leadership,
yes,
and if you became premier, how would you work with City Hall?
Oh, I could work with City Hall quite easily. Everyone gets into politics, You put your differences aside. You move forward for the people. The mayor's accountable to his voters. I'd be accountable to our voters, and everyone, not just our voters. And the Prime Minister is accountable for his voters in the country.
I get the sense that you bring out extremes in people and their reactions to you jumping in the leadership race. And it feels like half the city is horrified and angry, and half the city is like, yes. How can you bridge that gap and bring people closer to the middle when it comes to Doug Ford? And can you?
Well, again, this is, I know I can. This is about the team. I've talked to, what is there, 27, I'm probably at 21 MPPs. I've heard nothing but positive things. And I'm sure other candidates will call them, they'll say positive things. A lot of these MPPs I've known for a while. And we're going to form a team to go up against Kathleen Wynne. We're going to have the best team the province has ever seen. And we're going to need strong leadership. And I'm going to move this team forward and make this the most prosperous province in the country. Not just in the country, but in North America.
You might have some interesting names that you're up against for this leadership contest. Carolyn Mulroney is being floated. Rob Phillips is being floated. Perhaps one or two within the party. What are you going to be able to offer that they can't?
Well, experience. Neither of them, the two names you just said, have no experience. And they need experience. They have to understand what's going on in the province and in the largest city in the country. And neither bring that to the table. They're good people. I think they'll be great candidates. And I welcome them part of our team.
I'm not getting a rise out of you, Doug. I'm sensing a much mellower Doug Ford today.
Well, it's every day. You just have to move forward and, you know, and make sure the team works.
Do you think you can keep this more calm Doug Ford, or is, you know, is
I
that
think
going to continue?
I think I've been pretty calm for the last few years. So
well, okay, but you once called me a jihadi terrorist.
I did?
Yes,
no,
you did.
I don't remember that.
I remember that, yes. And you and your
remember
brother,
that.
yeah, I do.
I really don't.
You actually did.
Yeah.
Olivia Chow put it on a T-shirt. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And you know, you and your brother had a
For
very
that, I apologize. I don't remember that. Because the truth be known, folks, this is one of my favorite interviews.
Don't
No,
say
I know you're going to clip this, but this is one of my favorite interviews. As you can tell, she's not soft. She's tough as nails with me. But I respect Cynthia.
Well, that being said,
Yes.
there was that moment. You had a very antagonistic relationship with the media. And I would almost compare it in a way to Donald Trump, although not quite as bad.
And the
we
media
were called
had
maggots.
Yeah, I know, but the media was just as bad.
Do you think that you will continue to have that type of a relationship with the media if you do end up at Queen's Park?
No, I hope not. You know, the media, they don't have halos over their head by any means. You know, I remember seeing some media in Chicago.
So you're
well, no,
back.
but it's true. It's true. You guys aren't angels, and we got to respect each other. And you have to do your job. I have to do mine. But there were tough times in the city. There was no doubt, and there was a lot of action happening, and I think it's going to be a little more structured. I like structure. I like structure in business. I like structure in any team I belong to, and we're going to have a good time.
What would you have done differently? The Doug Ford today, these years later, looking back at your days in City Hall, what would you have done differently?
It's interesting. You learn by your mistakes. Sometimes you best to walk away and not say a word. Ignore all the people throwing the stones and knifing you in the back and everything else. You just have to take it. That's why Rob had a little thicker skin than I did, because he was down there for I guess 10 or 11 years before I got there, and it was a new experience. And but it was funny because we'd all be arguing down there. The same people we're arguing with would all go out for lunch. So it's a different place, different type of cats at City Hall, I'll tell you.
Doug Ford, thank you.
Thank you,
for the
Cynthia.
interview.
Thank you.